Okay, all right, so we're all set up. So I know a lot of you by now, but I know that there's a couple faces that I may not know. So my name is Miss Tara, and I'm the Youth Services Coordinator at the Wernersville Public Library. And today you are joining us to paint some pumpkins, which is super fun. And just like fall, they're orange, they're beautiful, they're great, right? So we're gonna have some fun with this today. So first, I just want to go over a couple rules for the program, just because we are on Zoom. So if you can just do me a favor, like I mentioned a couple times, just make sure that your audio is muted for me right now, just until the end of the program, so you can hear me clearly, because I'm already speaking through this, which might be a little harder to hear. And when we have a couple different voices going at once, it can echo, or it's just difficult to hear in general. Also, since we are recording this, feel free to turn off your video at any point that you'd like to. If you have to get up for any reason, you're more than welcome to turn that off. Just know that that's always an option for you. So this is a big deal for us. So in your kits, which we'll talk about in a couple minutes, there were a couple things inside there that you may notice were plastic, right? So our paint holders, right, are plastic. And then we also have our paint brushes. Okay, so we'll go over what was in our kit in just a minute, but if you guys could do us a huge favor, if you could please ask your grown-ups to collect those two things at the end of the program. If possible, if they could wash it out for us, that would be great, but they don't have to. But if within the next couple days, if you wouldn't mind returning those to the library, that would be super helpful to us. We did have a cut in funding this year, so we are trying to reuse things as much as possible so we don't have to repurchase, and we will sterilize them for another program. So just make sure that you guys don't throw those out if possible. That would be great. Another thing is the pumpkins that we'll have at the end. I know you guys are going to be so proud of those, and you might put them on your porch or by a windowsill. You have a pumpkin, right? Very good. So what you guys can do is you can have your grown-ups take a picture of your decorated pumpkin, and then you could have them post it on social media. They could use the hashtag WPL Pumpkins, which I've put down in the chat. We will be watching out for those. And if you have that and you guys go ahead and do that, you might be entered to win something cool. So we're not going to say what that is yet, but I believe I put that down in the chat. Let me just double check. Let's see. So I do have that down in the chat there, the WPL pumpkins. Make sure you put that on your picture, and then that way we can go find them and put you in to possibly win something fun. Okay, so now that we talked about the rules, we can get to the really fun part, right? Which is the pumpkins. Ta-da! This is a pumpkin, right? Isn't this a pumpkin? No, that is this not a pumpkin? Oh my gosh, who can tell me in chat what they think this is? Who can tell me? That this is a kind of a strange looking pumpkin, huh? It's already been painted once. Does anyone have a guess what this is? Ah, yes, thank you very much. It's a rock. Very good. So we actually ended up getting 50 of these little Jack B. Little pumpkins from Fisher's Produce in Ole, and they were fantastic about it. We want to make sure that it goes to as many patrons as possible. So instead of me taking one of those pumpkins to paint today, we made sure to put them all in the kits, and then that way it can spread a little farther. So we're going to pretend today that my rock is my pumpkin. But I know that you guys are all set up with your pumpkins, and we'll just pretend today that this is an orange pumpkin right now. It doesn't have blue, doesn't have yellow. It's not a plain rock. This is a beautiful pumpkin. Okay? Thumbs up for that, for pretending. Awesome. Okay, love it. Okay, so let's talk about what we had in our kit before we get started. So we had our beautiful pumpkin, right? We also had some Google eyes. You want to see a funny thing? Ready? Whoop. You had some Google eyes, right? Let's see, what else did we have? We had some paint. Who has their paint? Very good, okay. And we have a paintbrush. right? Does everyone have their paintbrush? Very good. Okay, how about some yarn? Do you have some yarn or some string? Oh, very good. Okay, now those were all the things that came in this kit, other than your instruction sheet. Some other things that you might want to have on hand, which I'm sure your grown-ups have already thought of, is some school glue. That way we can attach some of the yarn. Very good. We also want to have a pair of scissors, which you always remember to be safe to keep the point down, right? But you want a pair of scissors to be able to cut up your yarn. Okay? And then the final thing that I think is super important is a paper towel. Because if you're like me, I sometimes spill a lot of paint. So this is always good to have on hand. Okay, so this is the fun thing about this program is kind of like how our rock painting program was, you can do anything that you'd like. When we have this program, it's more about building community and being together and knowing that we're all doing it together, okay? So there's not going to be any right or wrong, but we'll kind of talk it through while we're decorating, and I'll show you what I plan on doing. And then as we go, you can hold up your pumpkin and you can show me what you plan on doing. And then at the end, we can hold up all our pumpkins and everyone can see what we've created. Thumbs up if that sounds good. Awesome. I'm smiling really big through here. You just can't see it. Okay, so sometimes I smile with my eyes so you guys still know, like this. All right, so I'm going to flip my rock over and pretend that this is my orange, beautiful pumpkin. And I see that you guys all have those from your kits, so way to go. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to decide what color paint we want to use first. So the order that we'll end up doing this is we'll paint our pumpkin first, then we'll take our yarn and cut up our yarn if we'd like to use it, or our string. Maybe you want to use it as hair, maybe you want to use it as a mustache. That might be kind of fun, right? Very good, Molly. Oh, Izzy, that's a great mustache too. All right, so we're gonna paint and then cut up the yarn, and then our final thing would be to glue on our Google eyes. Now, some of you, I was a little sneaky in a fun way. Some of you, I gave you 3 Google eyes instead of 2, because it is fall, it is October, and it's kind of closer to Halloween, right? So maybe you want your pumpkin to have 3 eyes, or maybe you want your pumpkin to have 6 eyes. If you want 6 eyes, but we only gave you 2 to 3 Google eyes, you can always paint 3 more on your pumpkin. So let's go ahead and take our pumpkin, okay? I'm going to flip it over this way to start with. And let's go ahead and pick the paint color that you'd like to use. So, you know, our pumpkins are orange, so yellow might not show up very bright on it, right? So white might not either, but maybe black or red or blue might get you the best colors. You'll notice on these plastic little containers, you might need a little bit of help from your grown-ups. Some of you are a little older and you could probably do it yourself. Let me just go ahead and, so sorry, we had someone that was joining, so let me just double check. Hi, friend. Oh, but I don't know if they can hear me yet. Sorry. Hi friends, so I noticed that you just joined us. We haven't gotten very far yet. We were just talking about our pumpkins and how we want to get our paint out. We are recording this, so if you'd like to keep your video off, you're more than welcome to. But you can always put it on as well if that is your preference. And we do ask that the audio stays off for the program. Oh, hi, nice to see you again. So we were just talking about how we're going to pretend that my rock today is a pumpkin, but this is actually a rock. That way, if more kiddos want to pick up kits, then the pumpkins are available. So you want to make sure that you have your pumpkin. And our first thing that we're going to start with is figuring out what color paint we want to start with. And then that'll catch us up. All right, friends, so as I was just mentioning, you know, the yellow and the white won't show up exactly on your pumpkin right away. So I would suggest starting with a darker color, and then once you let that dry a little bit, then you could add these colors on top. But once again, it's up to you because it's your creation. So I think I'm going to start with blue because my pumpkin already has a little bit of blue on it. And remember too that when you're painting your pumpkin, unless you have a paper towel or a plate underneath, you probably don't want to get too much paint on the bottom because it will get on the surface of whatever you are painting. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my blue paint here. And I know it takes a little finesse just because they're very tight containers. And paint goes everywhere, which is half the fun, to be honest. But let me try with this. Yeah, definitely not for Leanne either. Let's see. Aha. So I just, if you guys are having any trouble opening this, I just used my paper towel to help me pop it open. Sometimes it can hurt your fingers just slightly. So if you use a paper towel, it doesn't feel the same way. But I'm going to choose to use some blue first. I'm going to put that down here, and then I'm going to hold it up so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to take my paintbrush and my very gray pumpkin here. And I'm going to put some blue paint on my pumpkin. And like I said, you can choose any color that you'd like to use. If you'd prefer to use black, you can use that. If you want to use red, or if you choose to use white or yellow first, that's up to you too. Okay, so I'm painting here. It's going to be a very blue pumpkin. And like I said before, we really appreciate if these two things can come back, the paint holder and the paintbrush, just because it allows us to do more programs like this from home with you guys, which is always a good thing. Let's see. So I'm taking the time to cover my pumpkin. And that's the fun thing is once you get the paint on there, it doesn't even matter what it originally was color-wise. How's everyone doing? Thumbs up? Very good. Awesome. Good job, Nina. Good job, Madeline. You're doing great. Okay, so see, I am painting the bottom of my rock pumpkin. My And you'll start to see too, the great thing is our hands are washable, right? When we use paint, it's okay if we get them on our hands because we can wash our hands later. And this is washable paint, so even if you get it on your clothes, it'll wash out. We're not using acrylic. One thing that you can tell your grown-ups is that at the end of the program, if they wanted to buy a sealant, that's a chemical that parents can buy at the store and they can spray it on your pumpkin. That'll keep the paint lasting a longer time, and it'll make sure that if you put your pumpkin outside that the weather doesn't affect the paint job. But if you're going to have your pumpkin inside, then I wouldn't worry about it too much. Or if maybe you have it on your porch and it's not going to be affected by rain or another thing like that, then you should be good. And as you can see, I'm starting to paint the sides here of my pumpkin. It's eventually going to get on my fingers. Like I said, that's a-okay. That's half the fun of art, is getting those things on you. See? Oh, very good, Adeline. I like that. Oh, that's awesome. The feathers look great. I forgot that we put feathers in there. That was another thing I didn't mention. Peyton, you're doing a good job. Molly and Izzy, you're doing a great job too. Oh, very good. Oh, I like that. That's awesome. Serenity and William, that looks great too. I like how you're using the white. guys are doing so great. I see that Everett and Adeline have some glitter glue too, which is always fun. Huh. Oh, you have 2 colors of glitter glue. That's amazing. So look, see, here's my pumpkin now, and it's almost completely blue on the top and the front. See? So you can paint to your heart's content. I know this takes the longest time, but whenever you're done with the paint, that's when you can move on to the feathers and the yarn, which is super fun too. The only thing you want to make sure is that the paint dries just a little bit, because sometimes the glue won't stick because the paint is too wet. So you might want to give about 5 minutes in between. But the good thing is this paint tends to dry very fast. As long as you put the layers on kind of thinner. So you can go ahead and glomp it on if you want a thicker color, but it is going to take a little longer to dry, or you can paint it a little bit thinner and that won't take you as long. So it's really up to you how you want your creation to be. Oh, Peyton, I love the blue and the red. That's very cool. Do you know what color you would get if you kind of mix those 2 colors? Yeah, you do? All right. Guys are doing great. And don't be afraid. Another thing that you could have, if you'd like, which I know some of your grown-ups probably already got you, is if you wanted to get a glass of water, you can always dip your paintbrush in the glass of water and, oh, very cool. Okay, Izzy, that will work too. So if you go ahead, you can mix your paintbrush in the water, and that way you can change colors. Or, oh, very good, Everett. Awesome. Oh, see, that's an awesome mini glass. Perfect for that. And then you can swish it around and you can change your colors. I'm just going to set down my paintbrush for just a second. Being at the library is a little different than being at home. We have space, but because we're right near the computer, there isn't a ton. So I just have to coordinate myself here. And while you guys are painting, I'm just going to go through and check the chat really quick. Oh, Alona. Is that your name, Alona? That's beautiful. I love that. Awesome. Hi, Alona.
Say hi. Hi.
Hi.
Alana.
Oh, Alana. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, well, that's really pretty too. Okay, so I'm just going to go through the chat just so I can write down how many people we have while you guys are painting. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. Okay, friends, so how's it going? Very good. Feel free to hold them up just so I could see them. Oh, Adeline, I like that. Oh, it's got 2 faces. I love that. That's awesome. Alana, how's it going? Good? Serenity's doing a good job. Madeline's doing good. I saw some of it there. I've got my rock/pumpkin setting down just for a second so it can start to dry. And then that way I can start to put the yarn on, because I have a bunch of yellow yarn here, and I think that would be really cool. How's it going, Nina? Okay? Looks like you're doing a great job. Sometimes it's okay when things don't work out like we think. Like this, I thought this would cover a little bit more, but I'm thinking if I put a second layer on, it'll be okay. Very good, Everett. That looks great. I like those green feathers. Oh, very cool. Izzy, that looks great. Or that's Molly's. That one's Izzy's. Those look wonderful, guys. Very good. Hi. Awesome. You guys are doing fantastic. Oh, Serenity, I love what you're doing with the paint. Good job. I love that. That's so neat. Peyton, that looks great too. I'm so proud of all of you. You're doing fantastic. I think I'm probably ready to glue some of this yarn on, so I think I'm going to start to do that. Make sure too, when you go to shut your paint containers, that you push down completely and it should snap. Otherwise, it could spill out on you and you wouldn't be sure about it. Let's see. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Serenity. Yeah, so see how these snaps are? Just make sure that they snap when you're done with the paint. You snap them all the way down, because otherwise if you go to put them in your bag or somewhere else, it might drip out and you don't want that to happen. You guys are all artists. I'm so proud of you. Doing great. Let's see. All right, so if anyone is getting close to this point, I know some of you I've seen have already put the feathers on, but when you got your kit, you probably had a piece of yarn or string that was wrapped up like a circle like this, or maybe it was a long piece like this, right? Well, the fun thing about yarn is, and with this project, is you can choose just exactly like that. You can choose to cut it to whatever length you want. And then if you want to wrap it around the stem of your pumpkin, you can. If you want to, maybe it's a part of a scarf for your pumpkin. So your pumpkin wears it around its neck on the bottom. Or like I said, maybe it's a mustache, right? I think it might be both for me. I think it might be some hair, and then I think it might also be a mustache too. But that means that I have to take my scissors and I have to cut it to the appropriate length that I want. Oh, very cool. Everett is an alien and Adeline is Mal from Descendants. Very cool. That's awesome. Good job, both of you. I love that. I love the expressions on their face too. That's awesome. Very good. All right, so I'm gonna leave my rock/pumpkin over here for just a second. Oh, and I did just want to say to all of you too, thank you so much for understanding about the email fiasco earlier. We were able to talk to our tech guy for the system, but it turned out when we were sending emails out, they were being delayed and they weren't reaching anyone that had a Gmail account. They weren't reaching right away. So thank you for bearing with us for that. We really appreciated it. We didn't know until about 2 o'clock that they weren't going out properly. So, okay. All right, so I'm gonna take my yarn here. I'm going to cut it first for like the mustache. So I'm going to cut it about that length. Looks like a spaghetti noodle. Okay. Okay, so I've got some really cool yarn for the mustache here. Okay. All right, let's see. So then that means I have to take out my glue. I can see some of you are getting your glue out. Make sure your glue works. I had to make sure the top was okay. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put a string of glue here where I want my actual yarn to go. See? Okay, and then I'm gonna start taking my yarn and placing it where the glue is so that he has a mustache. It's a very big mustache. Oh, you guys got paint on your hands. Izzy, did you have something you wanted to say? Okay, you can hold on 1 second, okay? Let me just move this down. Where is, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and unmute you quick, and then when you're done, we'll mute you again, okay?
So me and Molly came up with this cool color.
Oh, that's like a lilac purple.
Can I show you my 3 colors that I made?
Sure. Oh my goodness, I love the one in the middle.
Oh, thanks.
I love all of them, but that's my favorite. Good job, you guys. Great job. Thank you for sharing.
Welcome.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to add more glue here. That's kind of a silly mustache, huh? It matches my mask. It's a very straight mustache. Instead of curling, it's like, let's see. Oh, Adeline, do you have something to say? Here, let me go ahead. Oh, okay, sure, go ahead.
Mine has feathers for its hair, so this is Mal when she was good, and this is Mal when she was bad.
Oh, I love that. I was wondering why, like, I love that there were 2 faces, but I wasn't sure. I was hoping that you would explain that to me. So that is fantastic. Okay, I'm going to put more glue on here so I can make a bigger mustache, because I think that would be really silly. And I think we need more of that right now. I think we need more things that make us laugh. So I am happy to bring those things to you, and so is the library. Oh, okay, hold on 1 second. Everett, I'm going to go ahead and unmute it, okay? Hi.
Well, what he wants to say is, he wants to say that he has an alien pumpkin and he has a whole bunch of eyes and hair at the back, right, Everett?
Oh, Everett, could you hold it a little closer to the camera so I could see it better? Because I saw all those eyes.
Look at all that hair.
Oh my gosh, I love the blue and green feathers. That's such a great job. You did amazing. Do you think you'll paint any more of it, or do you think it's done?
I think it's done. Yeah,
That's
mine's done.
A-okay. You've got to know. You've got to know as an artist when you're done, right? Good job, guys. Let's see. I think now I'm going to glue some eyeballs on. Right now, it kind of looks like Saturn. Has some rings, has some colors. Let's see. Did anyone else want to share where they're at right now, or did you want to wait until we get closer to the end? That's fine too. If you'd like to wait until closer to the end, you're more than welcome to do that. But we'll do it one at a time. So go ahead, and if you want to share right now, you can raise your hand, or we can just wait for a little bit. I think everyone else is still kind of working on their stuff. Okay, so I put 3 dots of glue here. So I'm going to go ahead and put 3 googly eyes on. So there's one. And remember, like I said, if you wanted to put like 6 eyes on, you could just paint the other couple on there. Let's see, here's, oh, this one might need a little bit more glue. There's 2. And there's 3. Dun dun. Dun dun. With a mustache. It's a pumpkin with a mustache and 3 eyes. A pumpkin with a mustache and 3 eyes. Now it needs some hair, because right now he doesn't have any hair on his head. So I'm going to put more glue on the top. Okay. Alana, how's it going? Good? You having fun decorating? Yeah? Awesome. Okay, very good. Let's see, Madeline, how's it going for you? Is it good? Good. Awesome. Good thumbs up. How about Nina and Emmett? Oh, Nina! Is that your pumpkin or is that Emmett's pumpkin? That's yours? I love that, how you have the yarn come out for the hair. Aw, Emmett, look at all those beautiful colors. I love those too. You guys did such an amazing job. You should be so proud of yourself. Seriously, it's amazing. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. Now it needs some hair. Mine needs some hair. How about, I'll take a couple more of these. Oh gosh, this is going to be a very silly rock pumpkin. It's a little silly, right? I don't even know what he really looks like, but he's fun. Oh, let's see, Molly, did you want to share? Sure, let's see. Okay, go ahead.
He looks like a sandwich.
Oh my gosh, he does. I think his name needs to be Bologna Sandwich.
Bologna sandwich.
Bologna Sandwich. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, Alana. Okay, here, I'm going to unmute you. Go ahead. There you go. Hi.
Yeah, I put these polka dots on, and the wedge is on the bottom.
Oh, I love that. You did such an amazing job.
That has blue hair.
Blue hair?
A baby, because it's a little pumpkin.
Oh, that would be amazing. That's so cool. You should definitely be proud of yourself for what you've done. You're welcome. Very good. Thank you for sharing.
I took out your hair.
Oh, I see that. I see that. That's wonderful. Keep working hard. Okay?
Put all my colors on already.
Oh, that's okay. You could move on to some eyes if you'd like.
Okay. We have to wait till it's dry.
And that's true too. Yeah, if it's a little too wet, you would want to give it some time before you put those on. Otherwise, they'll just slide off. Thank you for sharing.
If the polka dots are still there and that's still wet, those are too.
Aw, I'm proud of you though. You did well. I'm going to go ahead and mute you, okay? Okay. How's everyone else doing? Good? How are you doing, Serenity? Is it going okay? Good? Awesome. We still have some time. I know you guys some of you are at different, you guys are silly. Molly and Izzy, you're doing the pumpkin dance? Sometimes when you have so much fun painting something, you just got to work it out, right? See, Everett's kind of dancing too. I saw that. Who else is still working on theirs? Are we all kind of at a place of like stopping, or are you guys still working on your stuff? I know that Nina and Emmett did a fantastic job. We saw their pumpkins. I know that Adeline and Everett showed us their pumpkins, and Alana showed us her pumpkin. I know that we saw some colors from Molly and Izzy. And I know Madeline's still working on hers, and I think Serenity and William are also working on theirs. And oh, a beautiful purple feather. Serenity, that looks great. Very cool. Do you want me to unmute you so you could share how it's going, or do you still want to stay muted for a bit? Oh, okay. Here you go. Yep, I can. Go ahead.
I made mine with some pink feathers and some purple and blue and yellow and green.
I love
And I
it.
made Halloween colors, but I blocked them. I made black, blue, and white.
I love that, Serenity. I love how you use the feathers and then the colors underneath. That's gorgeous. You did a good job. You're welcome. You did a great job. Do you think you'll end up putting any eyes on yours, or do you want to let it dry for a bit?
I want to let it dry for a bit because one dried, one of the black dried, but I want to let the rest dry.
I think that's a good plan. I think that's smart. All right. Looks like you guys are all doing a good job still. Oh, very cool. Izzy, that looks great. Oh, very cool, Molly. Awesome. I know it's you. Guys are doing great. I think we'll give it about, let's give it about 6 more minutes, and then we'll kind of show what we're working on. That doesn't mean that you have to be completely finished in 6 minutes, but right around there, we'll start to head towards the end of the program. And I would love to see from those of you who haven't shown your pumpkins yet, have the chance to show and tell what you've created. Unless you don't want to, then you are more than welcome to just paint, and you do not have to share if you do not want to share. But I know I had a couple people already share, so I would let other people that haven't shared yet share what they've created. Oh no, it looks like I got more blue paint on me than I thought I did. See? I got some paint on my fingers and on the glue bottle. Oh, Madeline, very cool. Do you want me to unmute you so you can explain what you did, or would you prefer to stay muted? Oh, that's a-okay. That's awesome. I see there's 3 eyes and some beautiful pink and purple and a red feather and some neat yarn on the top. Oh, and the black stripe that goes, is that the smile, or does that just go around the pumpkin? No, is it just that? Well, it looks really cool. I really enjoy how it looks. I hope you had fun creating it. I think you did a really good job with the placement of the eyes too. And I love that you used 3 eyes. I am a big fan of mini pumpkins having more than 2 eyes. That's okay. Sometimes I feel that way too. Sometimes I just want to create, but I don't want to share. And that's the beautiful thing about having library programs too, is that we can just have fun and be artistic and not have to worry about sharing if we don't want to. Don't you worry, Madeline, I'll never ever make you share unless you want to share. So you are safe with us. Oh, okay, let me see. Molly, let me just double check real quick that there wasn't anyone else that hasn't shared yet, and then I'll come to you, okay? I know Serenity shared. I know Adeline and Everett shared. I know that Alana shared. I know that Nina and Emmett shared. And then Madeline shared. So I do think I come back to you guys next. So Molly, I'm going to go ahead and unmute, okay? So you should be able to go ahead and click the button then.
I blended all these colors,
Okay.
and this is my finished
Oh.
product.
Oh, I love that. Can you hold it just slightly? Thank you. I know it's still probably wet. I love the white on the top and how you took the paint and put it in the creases of the pumpkin. That was a really neat way to start it. And the purple, it almost reminds me of like a watercolor painting, how they kind of blend together, but like not in the, they're like in a smushed kind of way, but in a great way. I love art that's like that. So that was
This
very
is
cool. Oh yeah, Izzy, go ahead and share yours.
I'm not totally finished.
That's okay.
But put 2 eyes right here and 1 eye right there for 2 monsters. An evil,
Oh,
bad one.
oh, I love that idea. That is kind of like how Adeline had the 2 faces on her pumpkin when Maul was good and when Maul was bad. That's kind of cool. So you guys kind of had the same thing. Is that, oh, I might have said the wrong name. Did I say the wrong name? I might have.
I think she said Mal.
Oh, Mal. I'm sometimes not the best at pronouncing things. But that's okay, right? Some of us sometimes just have things like that, and that's okay. But I really like that, Izzy. You did a great job. Yeah, see, we're all covered in paint. That's awesome. And the best thing for our grown-ups is that it'll wash right off. It's not like acrylic paint where if you get it on your clothes, it won't come out. This stuff will come out, which is nice. Let's see. Okay, we have about 10 more minutes in the program. So does anyone have any questions for me or any comments about things? Like I said, it would mean the world to us if you guys were able to bring them back, the paint holders and the paintbrushes. That's not a thing where it has to come back tomorrow. But if it could come back within like probably like the next 3 to 4 days, if it's on your route and if it's possible. We'd super appreciate it. Even more so if it could possibly be washed out, but it does not have to be when you return it because then we will just wash it out too. Feel free that when you bring it in, if you would see someone else at the desk that is not me, you can just let them know that you're dropping it off and we will make sure to take care of that for you. But let me see. And remember, like I said, I believe I put it in chat, but we'd love to see pictures of your completed pumpkins because I know sometimes the hour isn't long enough for you guys to finish. So we would love to see, you could post it on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, and you would put the hashtag with the WPL pumpkins. And then that way we know to look for them and we could see what they look like, which would be awesome. I love seeing all your creations. So let's see, did anyone else want to share anything? Oh, okay. Let me go ahead and let me just real quick. Sorry, I'm in another window here. Let me just scroll down. Sometimes it's funny with technology. You think you click the right button and you don't. Okay. All right. Alana, here you go. Go ahead and you're unmuted then if you'd like to share your pumpkin. Ooh, I love the blue feather. And the yellow. Oh, was there a green feather on there too? That's wonderful. Very good. Oh, and see, now the polka dots just stand right out next to those feathers. That looks so amazing. I think you did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for saying thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to share about your pumpkin before I hit the mute button?
You finished?
Yeah? Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay, what would you like to share?
Oh, she's finished.
Oh, she's finished. Okay, no problem. Well, you did so wonderful, and I'm super proud of you. Thank you for doing a good job.
You're welcome.
I'll see you guys soon at the library. I'll make sure to save some more storytime crafts for you.
Okay.
Alrighty. All right, let me just double check. Molly and Izzy, let me just double check if there was anyone else real quick, and then I promise I'll come right back to you. Did anyone else want to share? Let me see. No? Okay, well then I will come back to Molly and Izzy.
Well, my first thing, I just set on my Echo Dot to set a timer for 10 minutes.
Oh,
But I'm waiting for my whole thing to dry. I painted my stem and everything.
oh, cool.
And I'm putting one eye on the front and one eye on the back, and 2 eyes on the back. Like people say that they have eyes in the back of their heads.
Yes, that's true. That's a very interesting phrase, isn't it? That means like people, they always pay attention to things that are going on, not that there's actually 2 eyes. But in this situation, I kind of love that because that's the literal version of that phrase. You imagine if people actually had 2 eyes in the back of their head that go blink, blink, blink. Be silly, right? You'd pull your hair up into a ponytail and the eyes would go blink, blink, blink. Aw. Thank you for sharing that. Molly, did you have anything to share before we muted you?
No, I'm gonna let mine dry too, and I'm gonna put lots of feathers,
Uh-huh.
and I might even put like a few eyeballs on there.
I think that's awesome. You guys did so good. Hands to you guys too. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and mute you, okay? Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Oh, Adeline, I love that. Very good. That's a great picture. Oh, let's see. Oh, Nina, did you make a picture too? Let's see. Oh, very good. Very good. I like the little hearts too. Hands to you too. You did great. You and your brother, you did wonderful. That's a wonderful heart too, and it's so fun to write things out like that. Very good. All right, Serenity, were you, hold on one second, I'll unmute you. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
I paid this walk right now. I mixed blue, red, and the purple I made
Oh, I love
out
that.
of the gray. I made the purple. See?
Oh, it's a
I
gorgeous
made purple out
purple.
of that.
You did such
And
a
my
great
hands got
job.
all messy.
That's okay though. That's what art is supposed to be. And you did a great job color mixing. So hands off to you too. I'm proud of you for that. That's awesome. All right, friends. So we actually have about 3 minutes left. So we're going to wrap it up. Okay. So like I said, oh, I'm glad you guys had a lot of fun, Adeline and Everett. I was so glad to see you guys at another program. That was awesome. Aw, bye. See you later, alligators. You guys did great. Thank you for joining us. Aw, no problem. Thank you. Hope you had a great day. Bye, Nina. Bye, Emmett. Bye. Have a good night. Stay tuned for other things that we have going on at the library, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye. See you later. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye. See you later.
So much fun.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. Oh, bye, Serenity. See you later. Bye.